Isencane lengane on Moja Love. Thando and Siyacela story continues. So in my last video, I was talking about the domestic violence, physical abuse situation that occurred when Siyacela slapped Thando, and I was pretty heated about it. Listen, this is a young lady. Of course, I'm gonna feel some type of way. So on the show, somebody suggested that these two should go seek counseling services, of which they did. So let me first start off by introducing myself. Hello, hi, I am Lungile. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. I am really trying to grow this channel. So yes, Thando and Siyacela have gone for a counseling session. They went to see a social worker, and a couple of things I would like to say about their situation. The first thing is Siyacela. His conduct during the counseling session. I mean, the social worker was asking them, why are you two here? I think at some point she was addressing that question to Siyacela, and he didn't want to answer. And to me, that means he's not ready to face up to his actions. He's not ready to be grown about what he did. He's not really willing to be accountable for his bad behavior. He abused his wife. He needs to make amends to his wife. And also he needs to take the necessary steps that will enable him to change his ways. Over the past couple of seasons, Siyacela has been getting worse. His antics have been getting worse. Initially, he was just a spoiled brat. Then he moved on to be just ignorant and ignoring his wife and neglecting her like she was back at Ulundi, and he was gallivanting all over Durban, which then led to him cheating on her. Newly married, but he was cheating on this young lady while she was back at Ulundi trying, to get her education. So yeah, he's been just behaving badly and escalating and getting worse. And now he has laid his hands on her. He has slapped her across the face. It was a terrible confrontation. Even when the camera people arrived, you can tell that Siyacela was still angry, was still mad at whatever, so he has to work on himself. There is a lot of work that this young man needs to do. Otherwise, if he doesn't, he is going to get worse. Him slapping Thando across the face is going to escalate. He's going to then just keep hitting her repeatedly, or the escalations of the physical abuse. I mean, already he is abusive in terms of him wanting to choose friends for her, of him taking the phone away from her, telling her that, you can only be friends with family members. That's isolation. That's the first step, towards abuse. He's taking away the people that can save Thando from him. And I mean, another thing he did was make sure that he destroyed his relationship between him and Thando's parents, which of course also affects how Thando associates with his parents. Thando thinks her father ain't shit. Side note, we all think that man ain't shit. Well, I also think that man ain't shit. Thando's mother doesn't want to hear anything once Siyacela's name comes up, and that is due to Siyacela's bad conduct and bad behavior, directly and indirectly towards Thando's family. So he has succeeded in making sure that he's isolating her in different ways from the people that love her. Now, another issue is Thando herself. Miss Thang, during the therapy session, when she was having her confessional, or whatever it's called, with the camera on the side, she was defending the slapping situation, saying that she doesn't consider herself abused. My darling Thando, that was abuse, specifically physical abuse. I mean, here is a proper definition of physical abuse. Physical abuse is an act where one person uses their body in order to inflict intentional harm or injury upon another person. Siyacela slapped you because he wanted to harm you, because he wanted you to feel hurt, to feel pain. That is physical abuse. The man abused you. You are an abused person, okay? She's probably defending the situation, maybe because she's embarrassed. I mean, I think that type of thing does come with a lot of embarrassment, and she doesn't want to admit it and doesn't want to admit it to herself, because just in her own eyes, how does she look that she's with a man who abuses her, that she has allowed the situation to get so far that her husband has the audacity to put his hands on her, you know? And maybe she's defending him because of, you know, patriarchy. Man, Thando is swimming in patriarchal ideals. The part of society she grew up in is highly patriarchal, and women in such, they always defend their man, you know. They always find a roundabout way to make it seem like their husband's bad behavior is not that bad. So that's why she was like, she doesn't consider herself abused because she did not bleed. There are no scars, there are no marks. My darling, that is abuse. So yeah, she has a lot of unlearning to do and a lot of self-love that she needs to learn, and just to put herself first. She did try to put her foot down by telling him that she does not want to be hit. The fact that you gotta tell your husband you don't want him to hit you, that is absurd. A husband must protect you. Okay, I feel like I'm repeating myself from my last video. But yeah, I'm not gonna go down that way. And another thing, so Thando then goes to see her mother, and luckily her aunt was there as well. And she tells them that Siyacela put his hands on her, and Thando's aunt did, you know, do some stern talking to, just confronting Thando about all the toxicity in her relationship with Siyacela, the bad things that Siyacela does. And they also confronted Thando over the fact that whenever they try to tell her how bad Siyacela is to her or for her, she always defends him. Because in that sit down, Thando was already ready to defend Siyacela. So I appreciated Thando's aunt in what she did in that situation. All grown-ups must be involved in that manner in their children's lives. And another thing, like in the African context, just because you are married does not mean that your family must not care for you, must not stick up and stand up for you, must not protect you. You know, when situations like this happen, African culture dictates that the couple or the abuser is brought in and the family must talk to that person to address and confront them about their bad behavior. I mean, this Thando Siyacela marriage does need a lot of involvement from professionals like counselors and therapists, and from elders within the family, just for Siyacela to get his act together and stop his BS. I think that's all that I have to say on this Thando Siyacela situation for now. Let's see what more Isencane lengane is gonna bring for us. And I wish Thando all the best in her life and marriage. May she never be abused again in any way, shape, or form. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.